Hello, I'm Gary Quinn, and welcome to another episode of Ready, Set, Live. My guest today is Tyce Diorio, an Emmy Award-winning choreographer to the stars. He has choreographed for Taylor Swift since 2013 and has worked with Queen Latifah, Tom Cruise, Kristen Chenoweth, Jennifer Lopez, Annie Lennox, Paula Abdul, and Carrie Underwood, just to name a few. He was also seen as a choreographer and guest judge on the Fox television series, So You Think You Can Dance. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Welcome to the show, Tyce.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you after all these years.
I know, it's so great.
And, I think synchronicity is always a key. And I believe in your, let's say, creative arts of what you do. It's always timing,
Yeah.
When you were growing up, and I knew you grew up in New York.
I did.
Was there an intent that you had dancing or a vision of what you wanted to do in the entertainment world?
Yeah, definitely. I was dancing since the very beginning. Just my family having so much like music in the home, and dance was always popular. It was on TV. I was at a local dance studio in Brooklyn studying as a young kid. And yeah, music was the driving force for everything. And my mom really, my family just lovers of music. And so that was just instilled in me from the very beginning. And I was moving around and dancing. So it was like so natural and so organic to me.
Was there one event or something that you said, I'm going to go audition or dance, or you were just taking classes or just dancing?
Actually, before I started any kind of training, I was driven to the dance and the movement. And I think I went on maybe a couple auditions, I think, that my mom took me to. And I did some print work. I did commercials. So I dipped my foot in the water. and I liked it. And I remember there was an audition for a commercial, and I think at the time my mom was talking to the manager or the agent that we were connected to, and they said they were looking for a blonde person. And so I was like, can I still go? And my mother was like, no, they're looking for a blonde. And then I was like, well, can I still go? And I was persistent, and I went. They figured out a way for me to go to the audition, and I booked the commercial. So,
I love it.
So it's a all telling.
I love it. As you move forward now, in you came to Hollywood. You danced with everybody from Paula Abdul to, who else did you danced with? Everybody.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm surprised I didn't see you, because I met Donna DeLore at Joe Tremaine down the street years ago. Is he still dancing?
Joe Tremaine, yes. So Joe Tremaine is incredible and a legend. And in fact, we did a concert, this jazz concert, and there was some work in the concert that was honoring Joe Tremaine and his work.
Wow.
Yeah, Joe Tremaine gave me a scholarship when I moved to LA. So
I love it. Well, I was only there because I was an actor back then, and I was auditioning. I was doing Grease, and I had to learn how to dance. So I was there in classes, and I met a lot of people there, but I'm sure I didn't. I probably saw you. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's almost full circle. I said that with Donna DeLore.
That's funny that the concert we did was called Full Circle.
There you go. Da 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 da.
Yeah. Donna DeLore sang with Madonna.
Yes. And I've known her. We used to audition together. I've known her since the Joe Tremaine days, and then she auditioned for Belinda Carlisle, and then I'm connected to Belinda Carlisle. Belinda did the show, and we've become friends, and it's just a full circle.
I remember seeing Donna at classes at that time.
Yeah.
So
and so I do believe that there's always a synchronistic viewpoint of being at the right place at the right time. But, you know, did you start any spiritual practices back then, or what was because you've always had this aura of that.
Yes, definitely. I know as a young teenager, I think I actually remember creating in my bedroom a vision board on my wall. I would cut out pictures of, I remember this show that I saw on Broadway changed my life, and it was Jerome Robbins' Broadway. And one of my really dear friends, who is like an inspiration to me, and like a dance icon, a dance idol, like I really looked up to. Her name is Marianne Lamb, and as well as so many other incredible dancer performers were in this show. And I had cut out pictures of Jerome Robbins and all of his works and put them on my wall. And I knew that I didn't really know that I was going to move into choreography at all. I had no idea. It's interesting because I had said throughout my years being a dancer, I was like, I don't have the gift of choreography. I don't want to choreograph. I didn't have any interest in it at all because I was going to head towards the acting and singing, being the triple threat. And for some reason, this little show, So You Think You Can Dance, came along, and the dots connected, and another choreographer friend of mine recommended me. I got hooked up with them, and then I went on the show, and I started choreographing, and I kind of worked on my craft on the show. And then I just kind of like had all of that in my head. But I remember going to see Jerome Robbins' Broadway many times. And I wonder if it was because I was studying it and the brilliance of Jerome Robbins, the greatest storyteller in movement, in my opinion, in theater. So, and he had such diversity and such versatility in his work. And I think that I started to, because when you ask people today, my peers, dancers, they'll say, I can't really put my finger on what style it is you do. And I was like, that's great, because it's constantly evolving. So,
and what was interesting, was there a epiphany that the light went off and you said, I want to do this now? Or was it just someone said, oh, you should choreograph this piece?
No, I think while I was working it out on the show, each time, I never really thought that. I didn't know. I was in the moment. I stayed present in the moment. I didn't look far ahead at what my career could be. So I think it was always good. As dancers, we stay in the moment, so we're present, and we don't look ahead and jump steps ahead, because I don't want to miss the building blocks in the foundation that I know I developed as a dancer. You know, you can't skip over the steps as a dancer. So I thought in choreography, I might as well just steer that course that way. And
you know what's so interesting, and you know, we think in pictures, and I've done that with my career of working in all these countries. I used to put pictures of Italy and Japan and Switzerland, and all of those have come to fruition, and I've been working there for 12, 13 years, 14 years. But I think when you, as a young person, when you put something on a vision board, and now I call them mapping boards, it sounds much better.
Yeah.
But you're kind of strategizing, because remember, whatever we believe, whether you believe in laws of attraction, quantum, physics, we're aligning with that vision, which goes into our subconscious, and then somewhere you manifest it.
Sure. I believe that for sure.
Yeah,
I think I've done that throughout my career.
And as when you currently break down a piece that you have to choreograph, what's the creative force? Is it a osmosis or a vision? You say, ooh, these dancers feel Like they could, do this, and this. Is
Mm.
that how it kind of organically comes about?
It's kind of like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of, if I feel inspired by one thing, whether it's the music or a specific dancer or dancers
Mm-hmm.
or an idea,
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of, I guess, meditate on that,
Mm-hmm.
or let it sit in my soul for a minute until it feels right. And a lot of the time, because with art and creativity, I think there's really no one way of doing things. Because I feel like for me, it's sometimes I'll see something very clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'll just keep moving slowly. And so I think I just kind of like listen to my inner my inner guides, whatever
Right.
that means,
Right. What has been the biggest challenge you faced as just you, not as a choreographer, but as you? What has been the challenge that you've faced so far in
Just
life?
in life, I think, well, I think for anyone, like I had lost my mom in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and that was probably the biggest challenge, because like anybody, your parent is the nucleus, is the center. And so that was a journey, like understanding that. But now been about 12 years, and now I understand it more, which is great, because I wouldn't have known then
Mm-hmm.
what I know now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so interesting, just like in the journey of life. And it's like, yeah, it's devastating. But when you start to like really pay attention, and I think a soul connection is probably sometimes even more important.
Well, I believe we have soul connections with everybody who's
Yeah.
around us, whether it's
Mhm.
from 20 years ago, 30
Yeah.
years ago, or it
Mhm.
comes full circle again.
Yeah.
And I've had that with many of the actresses I've worked with,
Mm-hmm.
even my very first job with Mary Lou Henner.
Ah.
I've come full circle with her,
Hmm.
and we talk all the time now like old times, but
That's
it's
great.
so cool because there is a vibe there that never goes away, and I do believe it's a soul group, a family,
Yeah.
and that we feel a connection for some reason because we had a past life with each other.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. I feel I feel like I have more answers now.
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah, like maybe like halfway down the road, it felt like, oh, this is supposed to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean, because I guess there's no coincidences
Right.
sometimes in life, and yeah, and so I think when like the other side, let's say, it's people maybe help us
Mm-hmm.
orchestrate. Um, I don't know. I don't have all the verbiage for it, but it feels like things get organized for us.
Well, I believe the table is set
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
and you just have to step into it
Yeah.
and be ready.
Yeah.
Be in preparation
Yeah.
is really what it's
Mhm.
about. And I
Definitely.
think what I've learned in my spiritual journey in the last
Mm.
20 years is to just be
Yes.
and not worry about tomorrow,
I
about the
agree.
past, and just be in the moment
Yeah.
of really all there is love.
True. Mm-hmm.
What does love mean to you?
Love means, the love you have for a parent, or a friend, or an animal,
Mm-hmm.
or for horses, or for beautiful, like aesthetically beautiful, what that means to you. Yeah, that's love to me.
I think our lesson, Tyce, in this lifetime is to just learn how to love everything
Yeah.
and everyone,
Sure.
no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know, animals are so connected. My last guest brought his collie here. He was a director, and the collie was so sweet. She wanted to be on camera. He wanted to be on camera, Finnegan, when we did the promo. And you could see he was all happy. He sat here with Tom. But the energy is and you have a little dog.
I do.
Yeah, and I saw you in the beach with what's the
Her name is Jax.
Jax. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And so if you look at what is something that you want to accomplish next, or what would be the greatest desire of your life now to achieve or to envision, what would that be?
You mean professionally?
Yeah,
or
in life, just life in general.
Life in general?
Yeah.
I think when you are in your true purpose, whatever that is, I think it feels like you're flying.
Yeah.
So hopefully for me, being a dancer is the greatest thing, and being a creator is pretty wonderful. So I think dance allows you, dance can make anything possible. Being a dancer, and the work ethic, and just the beauty of the craft is just so magical.
And I think there's so many people that are not living their true authenticity. And I know during the lockdown pandemic, people really they began to evaluate their lives and look at themselves. I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Or this doesn't work with this person, or I can't go on. You know, were there anything that you learned in the pandemic? I know you were stretching and dancing on the counter of your kitchen,
having fun.
Right.
So much fun.
But was there anything that you said, I know I cannot live without this, being, deprived of it all these 3 years?
Actually, I think we all learned a lot, like you said, during 2020 into 2021. It was very challenging, but I think I had this, you turn an obstacle into an opportunity. So I think as busy as people can get, I think it was nice to have a little bit of a break to just evaluate.
Correct. Take a time out.
However anyone wanted to do that. And so I was cooking more for myself.
What were you making?
I don't know. It was just like, I was just making food, and it was really fun.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but it was fun, and I think I'm pretty good at it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What dish are you specialty?
I don't even know. I mean, I made all kinds of things, but because I just, who doesn't love food?
Correct.
So it's you just it's kind of like anything. Like when I'm creating a piece of choreography, I'm just like painting a picture, and I always say to dancers or anyone in the room that we'll paint the sun, the moon, the stars, and the trees, and then maybe we'll take the trees away, and then we'll add a few more. So it's just about process. It's about trying.
Right.
And see, and not being afraid to fall.
Exactly. As growing up, dancing, and I know you work in a lot of private workshops and events with young dancers. What's the biggest wisdom you give them, or that you can, share with them?
I usually just say, like, I'm here to share the information, and dancers can take what they want from it and use it how they want to. And because as a dancer, you have to it's not easy, but it depends though, because each person dances for a different reason, and that's great. So I just try to share my experience in the room, and that's kind of it.
I think also what I've noticed with many creative individuals is that the more in gratitude they are, the more it seems that they seem to really shine.
I think that's true.
You know, because
I
you've
do.
seen divas, you see, I mean, yes, they're divas, but
Yeah.
they need to be able to come to reality of authenticity without all that stuff,
True.
you know. And
Very
it's so
true.
refreshing when you meet someone who is iconic or that you go, oh my God, they're so real. And I've heard that about Dolly Parton forever, that she even gave a client of mine a ride home from the dentist because he didn't have a ride. She says, oh, sure, baby, come on, we'll give you a ride home.
So great.
I mean, when you hear stories like this,
Yeah.
it's just, wow, the humanity of it all,
That's what it's all about,
you know.
I think.
If you could go back in time and speak to someone and ask them a question, it can be anybody who's no longer here, who would that be? And what would you ask them?
It's a really tough question.
Could be a scholar, could be a dancer, Gene Kelly, who knows, anybody. Gandhi.
You know, ask them a question. I mean, the only person that comes to mind is my dance teacher,
Okay.
Rachel, who's very, very close to me. We were very close. She was like a mother to me. And so, we were so close, but I would probably I don't know exactly what I would ask her. I'm sure I could come up with something. But yeah, I would love to have another conversation.
Okay.
You know, because as a dancer, your teacher they play such a important part in your life. At least mine did. And so magical, like such a magical person.
Traveling the world, what has been your favorite place to visit or work?
Actually, I love Japan.
I do too.
I've gone there quite a few times as a dancer. I just love it.
Yeah, I'm sure they would love you.
It's beautiful there, and I love it. I love the whole, just.
It's, when I first arrived there, and I've been teaching there 16 or 17 years, and I have a huge group of amazing fans who love what I do, and I love working with them. But I was overwhelmed by the lights, it was too many people, and I locked myself in the hotel when I arrived for a day because I was like, this is too much stimulation.
Yeah.
But then once I really found out the culture and how it was, it was amazing, and I have amazing friends there, and there's lots of people from all over the world who live there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm always in Roppongi where they put me up.
So great.
And I know the whole area. I know the best places.
Yeah.
I go to this incredible workout place called 360 that's run by all Australians.
Okay.
So I do boxing. I do core fitness at 6 a.m. in the morning, and it's just. You're on a schedule, and I love being on a schedule. That's what I love about Japan and Switzerland. The same thing.
Oh yeah.
Everything is just timing.
So great.
Where you go to certain other countries and it's upside down.
Yeah. No, I love Japan. I've been there so many times.
Wow.
Whether it was teaching, it's great. And it was even when I was like a teenager too. Like, it was just so much fun.
Cool.
To travel that far.
They have great products.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. I'll have to give you some of this special vitamin C oil they have.
Okay.
It's amazing. I gave some to Belinda Carlisle, and you can only get it in Japan.
Okay.
So when I go there, I load up, and I've got it in the refrigerator. But everything is so amazing. Just it's I don't know what it is. Even the presentation of the food.
Yeah. It's incredible.
And so the other thing what makes you laugh? What's funny? What do you find funny?
Oh my God. You'd be surprised. I'm pretty much like a goofball for sure. Yeah. I could literally laugh at just the littlest things make me laugh. And I think it's good because I laugh at myself mostly. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable. But I also come from, my family, a great sense of humor. I think it's so important. That is like, and most of my friends have an incredible sense of humor. And we can just laugh till we cry. So, what makes me laugh? Oh, anything specific? Yeah, sometimes when you see people like, I don't know, being like getting
Too intense?
intense over something
That's so silly.
that's so serious, and you're like, excuse me, yeah, and you're like, oh, the sun is shining. I don't know what we're doing.
Correct. Correct.
So it's kind of funny. You're like,
Exactly.
you're like, but
and I think it's just really grateful to be
mm-hmm.
in the time we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's always synchronicity. And,
Yeah.
I had been thinking about you 3 years ago. And I don't know, you came across my mind. I don't know what was. And you came to see me speak in 2001.
Yes.
And I was like, you reached out to me and I was like, whoa, he got my vibe, and I just sent you a subliminal contact me. And then you reached out and I was like, whoa, there it is.
Okay.
I love that. That's divine synchronicity.
Yeah.
At a high moment, a high level, and I think people need to use their intuition. Do you use it? I'm sure you do, because when you're choreographing, that person can do it, or you go, I don't think they can do that.
Yeah. I think I lead with my intuition, my instincts are always pretty good. And sometimes I think I can be, maybe all artists can be sort of insecure about what they're doing or what they're making. But then I think, like, down the road on my path, I would feel insecure about things. And then there was a shift where I said, maybe that insecurity could be a strength.
Absolutely.
Because it means, because it means you care. And most artists care about or are passionate about what they do, and you care. So that's not a bad thing.
Correct.
So sometimes now, if I'm insecure about something, I just stay in it, and I don't push it away. So I just stay in it and just let it be.
Let it be.
Without trying to push it away. And like, if I don't know what I'm doing, that's okay. But eventually I'll find it. It's kind of like the process. Like, it's important to be in a process as an artist, I think, and be like in the room and be present and allow things to unfold naturally without sometimes like handling it so much. So that's helped me.
When you've met people and they say Tyce is, what would be the word that would be on your T-shirt? That he's compassionate, he's inspirational, he's full of ideas, wisdom. What would be the word?
It would be calm.
It
would be patient.
Yeah. And I think so many people need to learn how to be calm and patient.
It's like, and I'm sure that's like never ending. You have to always learn those traits, you know. So it's.
Do you have a ritual that you do in the morning, like meditate,
meditate.
Walk, nature?
I love nature.
Hike.
I love work.
I hike.
Walking in nature, and being with your dog is just so. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I don't. Maybe you could answer this. Like, I almost feel like there's a piece of, let's say, my mom, or something about my dog and my mom the connection. It's interesting. Like,
Well,
I can see her in
because
my,
your dog is full of love,
it,
and your mom spirit speaks through love.
yeah, but it's not even just that.
Mm.
It's more. It's almost like my dog's personality is very similar. It's very similar. Like, it's
In a weird
like
way.
a
Oh
weird
yeah,
way. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
It,
I
it,
really
it,
can't put my finger on it.
It is, through animal souls and human souls,
Mm.
you can receive messages or
Yeah.
just the vibration. I had an
Yeah.
experience years ago at my publisher's house in Milan. They had this little yappy Chihuahua,
Mm-hmm.
and the little dog that I had was, very quiet, and she
Mm-hmm.
was a miniature pinscher, and she was 14 years old, and she
Mm-hmm.
was always very serene and calm. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was away, she passed,
Mm-hmm.
and I had already said goodbye to her. But when I arrived in Milan, this little yappy dog that would always yap at me and jump and bah, 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 bah,
Mm-hmm.
it was Bet coming to me as a message.
Oh.
And I asked a friend of mine who was an animal intuitive, and she said, yes, animals can take on other animals' message information that you needed to hear.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
I was like, it was like a sense of, I know she's okay. It was a
Okay.
message of letting you know or me know that this was it.
Yeah, that's I could believe all of that. Yeah,
Mm.
it's not too far fetched.
Off, correct.
You know what I mean? So I don't have the answers exactly, but it's a vibration. It's a feeling. It's just something.
When you leave this experience,
mm,
how do you want to be remembered?
Passionate about what I do
Mm.
and about people. That's kind of really, it's kind of really it, you know. I mean, that kind of encompasses everything, you know.
Mm.
So,
Well, I thank you for spending this special time with me. It's full circle, Tyce, and
yeah.
I hope all the individuals out there who are fans of your work continue to acknowledge you, and people can go on your Instagram and your
Yeah.
website,
Yeah.
and if you are available to go see one of Tyce's workshops, attend, and I look forward to more incredible times.
Thank you so much. It's so great being here.
I'm Gary Quinn. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Ready, Set, Live. Until next time, be well.